PEI Music Week's lead sponsor, the credit union, to present the Music PEI Lifetime Achievement Award. Doug Bridges.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to present the Lifetime Achievement Award. A Lifetime Achievement Award doesn't exist simply to recognize someone with a long career in the music industry. It's not just the recognition of the music, but the recognition of the person behind the music and everything they have shared with their family, friends, peers, and audiences. This person has shared many gifts and is a true ambassador for island music. Tonight, we are very proud to present the Music PEI Lifetime Achievement Award to Gordon Belsher, but first, some background, of course. Gordon was born in Saskatchewan, but had settled with his family in Edmonton by the age of 3. Music was a part of Gordon's life from an early age. He began music lessons at the age of 7, taking up the coolest instrument of them all, the accordion. Like many young musicians of the day, Gordon had a life-changing experience when he saw the Beatles perform on the Ed Sullivan Show, and the year was 1964. So, not long after that, Gordon took out a loan with a finance company and scraped together $180 to purchase a Paul McCartney-style Hofner bass, a guitar that he still has today, in fact. While still in high school, Gordon joined the band The Heat, and they began playing gigs around Edmonton and eventually throughout Alberta. In March of 1968, The Heat caught a huge break and played the biggest gig of their career, opening for The Who at the Edmonton Gardens. Gordon played in other bands throughout the 70s until finding a home with the cover band Patch. The band played bars, hotels, and parties throughout Western Canada for the next several years. It was in 1974 that Gordon first set foot on Prince Edward Island. And what brought him here? Well, a woman, of course. Gordon met his future wife, Charlene, whose father was stationed in Edmonton with the Air Force and whose mother was originally from Summerside. So there you go, as Islanders, we have to make that connection. So after 15 minutes of setting foot on PEI for the first time, rumor has it, Gordon says to Charlene, "Someday I'm going to have a PEI license plate on my van." During the next few years, Gordon would complete a grueling 6-month tour of Canada with rockabilly legend Buddy Knox and continue to play those gigs with his band Patch. In 1978, Gordon finally got that PEI license plate on his van, and he and his wife Charlene settled into their new home in Guernsey Cove in eastern PEI. Gordon and Charlene then started a maritime Celtic band which became known as Jar O' Comfort. The group would play together for the next 15 years and release 4 albums. They would eventually add Steve Sherritt and Margie Carmichael to the lineup before disbanding in 1994. Not only a gifted musician, Gordon has developed a talent for recording and sound engineering, making his first recording in 1990 on a 4-track recorder. He would eventually set up a 16-track studio in 1992 called Guernsey Cove Parlor Productions. Since then, over 100 recordings have come to life at Gordon's studio, including sessions by Urban Carmichael, Doug Riley, Cynthia McLeod, Scott McCauley, the College of Piping, Jericho Road, Kendall Doherty, and many, many more. To date, Guernsey Cove Parlor Productions has been nominated for Studio of the Year at the East Coast Music Awards a total of 6 times. In 1995, Gordon began one of his most enduring partnerships when he joined forces with fiddling sensation Richard Wood. Gordon and Richard have spent the last 14 years playing countless shows at home and abroad. The duo has regularly toured Canada, the UK, and the United States, and thrilled audiences in countries as far away as Australia, Japan, Denmark, and Belgium. They have performed on Parliament Hill in Ottawa on Canada Day, at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, and for William and Kate, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Of course, sometimes expanding this duo into a trio is multi-instrumentalist Brad Fremlin. Gordon, Richard, and Brad continue to perform together with no signs of slowing down. And as if that weren't enough, Gordon has toured extensively throughout Canada and New England with fiddler Cynthia MacLeod, was awarded the Queen's Golden Jubilee Medal in 2002, was a cast member of the Charlottetown Festival's 2006 production Celtic Blaze, and composed the anthem for the 2004 Special Olympics Winter Games, right here on Prince Edward Island. Never just a sideman, Gordon has released several solo recordings as well. 2003's Reel in the Flickering Light and 2008's Call Up the Neighbors both earned ECMA nominations. His 2012 recording, Past Presence, Past and Present, won the 2013 Music PEI Roots Traditional Recording of the Year. And still on the topic of Music PEI, Gordon was instrumental in helping to establish Music PEI in 2001. Putting his bookkeeping skills to use, Gordon served as treasurer on the Music PEI Board of Directors for 6 years. His expertise, passion, and dedication have helped grow Music PEI into the thriving organization it is today. Gordon Belsher still lives in Guernsey Cove with his wife Charlene. They have 2 wonderful daughters, Savannah and Siobhan. Gordon's body of work really is tremendous and speaks for itself. He has been a steady, guiding hand in the island music scene, helping up-and-coming musicians navigate the complicated waters of the music industry. He is the consummate professional, demonstrating skill, showmanship, and class with every performance. He has been a loyal and trusted sideman, a captivating solo artist, a friend to PEI music, and a shining example of everything it means to be a true musician. Though this is a Lifetime Achievement Award, Gordon isn't finished yet, not by a long shot. We look forward to many more years of his warm and inviting stage presence, his impressive guitar chops, and his true gift as a musician's musician. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2014 Music PEI Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Gordon Belsher. Unfortunately, Gordon's not able to be here tonight, but accepting on his behalf is his wife, Charlene.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Hello. To those of you not in the know, Gord had a little health issue this week. He was sent to St. John, had a procedure done there. He is now back on the island, and his first question to the doctor is, can I play my gig tomorrow? No. How about Friday night? No, I don't think so. Anyway, Gord did write out a speech, and I'll just do it in his words, so it's first person from him. Okay. When Music PEI told Savannah that I was to receive this award, he wanted to keep it a secret and actually surprised me tonight. She told him, gee, that's probably not a good idea. It might give him a heart attack, she laughed. Also, Rob told him on Monday, and his first reaction, I'll do it in his words, my first reaction was, but I'm not done yet. Well, the powers that be just wanted to remind me who's really in charge here. What I have achieved over the lifetime of music business? Too many gigs to count, but probably numbering about 7,000, including 110 in 120 days last summer. I've sold maybe a total of 10,000 copies of my own recordings altogether. I haven't had much radio play, and TV exposure has been a few CBC appearances and a regular performer on Cable 10 telethons. But I have been able to make most of my living for 4 decades in the music business without having a hit or being a star. Looking back, it's been quite the journey. I've played and recorded a lot of different music. I've written some. I've seen a lot of the world and collaborated with some amazingly gifted talents. Projects out of my studio have probably sold a number of 200,000 copies. So I guess that's not insignificant. As our friend Patrick Ledwell would say, not too bad. Career-wise, my biggest influences early on were the Beatles, The Who, and the Bee Gees, and of course touring, playing bass with rockabilly pioneer Buddy Knox. He taught me the meaning of professionalism, particularly one frigid February night in Rishabugdo, New Brunswick, with an audience of 6 people. Buddy took Gord aside and said, "Hey, Buddy," or "Hey, Gord, how do you like the big time?" Getting into the folk music in the 70s and the 80s and beyond, there were Bruce Cockburn, Ryan's Fancy, the Irish Rovers, the Barry McNeils, the Rankins, and Great Big Sea. Great Big Sea were actually in regular rotation at the Old Dublin Pub with our group, to our comfort at that point. Of course, meeting Richard Wood was one of the most fortunate happenings of my life. Playing music with him regularly from when he was a teenager has led to many notable adventures all over the world. We have stood together through thick and thin, we still do, and I love him. Other idol musicians I've worked with on stage and in the studio are literally too many to mention. I'm constantly amazed at the diversity and the level of talent the young and old here have on the island. From the fearlessness of a 16-year-old Cecilia McLeod, when I first met her, to the improvisational genius of the late Doug Riley. I don't want to try to list anyone, really, for fear of forgetting too many, but they have all contributed to my career. Lifetime achievement? My greatest lifetime achievements. Take over, Todd. I knew this one would get me.
Well, he says, my greatest lifetime achievements are here on stage.
And Siobhan should be up here too, but she's videoing.
Thanks, Siobhan. Talking my sweetheart, Charlene, into marrying me 41 years ago and the family that has grown around us. That's the best lifetime achievement.
And George was rounding it up by saying he was so excited to be here tonight and so looking forward to it. He says, I'm truly humbled with this award and thank Music PEI for the honor. And if the powers that be will allow, I'm not done yet.